we go. One more time. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Welcome to XO Sports Talk Radio Live. Here we are again, y'all. One more time, coming at you. I got my man, Sweet Aaron G, t-mizzle, Brian Justice. I'm your boy, M.O. Emerson. We here. What's up, everybody? What's going on, fellas?
What's going on? What's going on? How's everybody?
Good, man.
Hey, man, we doing it, bro. We doing it, man. We doing it.
Episode number 3.
Yeah.
And to all our viewers out there, we want to say welcome to this edition of XO Sports Talk. Yeah. Please hit the subscribe button,
everybody.
So we can keep the show going on.
Yeah, and I want to apologize for my last technical difficulties, but the fellas did a great job, so I figured we post it anyway.
Why not?
Go with this together.
That's it.
Are you sure your mic is on this time?
Microphone check. Microphone check.
And everybody that's subscribed, thank you for your support.
Yes.
We really appreciate it. We really appreciate it. We really appreciate it.
The show is moving on strong. But we're going to start the topic off with Hideki Matsuyama.
Oh, yeah.
Winning
the
Masters.
Yeah.
Ooh.
This is a young man. What can you say when you play like that? 29 years old. He's a 15-time world winner and 8-time Japan Golf Tour winner.
Yeah.
And here it is. 1 stroke to win the Masters.
And he delivered.
Yeah.
He delivered. You got to give it up to him. Hats off to him. Hideki, great job. Great job for the world of sports. Just seeing one of the first Japanese players to win that award, I think is great. Just being able to see sports just spreading abroad throughout the world. Big ups to Hideki. Wonderful job. Job well done.
Now, Terry, let me ask you a question. Would you get up at 3 o'clock in the morning if you lived in Japan to watch the tournament?
Definitely. Just being that he's the first player of Japanese descent to win the Masters, yet alone a major. So I'm up. I'm up early. I'm up at 2:30.
Absolutely. That's history.
Yeah. He had a lot of pressure on him, man. A lot of pressure on him.
Yeah.
He had a whole country.
And how about you, Brian?
Oh, definitely. I guess this will be like a reversal of almost of the Tiger effect, if you would say, just that as Asian descent to be the first to win a major is just the accomplishment itself. Since that country.
Yeah.
And, hats off to him.
And how about you, Em?
Listen, like I said, I have to agree with the rest of the fellas. Wonderful job well done, being able to step up to the plate when all the pressure's on him. That was a major accomplishment in the world of golf. Masters being one of the biggest golf tournaments on the planet. And he came in and he delivered. When the grease was hot in the kitchen, he said, I got this. And he represented for his country. And I think all of his fellow golfers, they were appreciative of him being able to accomplish that feat as well. So great job, Hideki.
Now, Em, you just hit on something. Hot in the kitchen. Hot in the kitchen, where that you're talking about a young man who's not playing for himself, his country.
Absolutely.
Everybody is tuned in Japan to watch him play for his country. That is a major accomplishment.
Major accomplishment. Whenever you can, as you say, represent your country, and you're putting your best foot forward to make sure that you can come back home with that trophy and wear that green jacket is just a proud moment. So this was phenomenal, and I think it just opens up the floodgates for more athletes to represent their country and being able to come into the golf tournaments and just being able to come in and just enjoy what you're doing, first of all, because I'm trying to learn a little bit more about golf myself. I'm playing on my PlayStation now, but I'm going to get out there and shoot a few holes myself and really start to get my golf game and tune my golf game up.
What you
I think I'm going to go.
2020
buy me
over.
some
Yeah.
I'm going to go buy.
But Terry,
I'm going to go.
Terry,
Yeah.
how do you feel about that?
Well, I think it's not only going to open up, his win is not only going to open up just golf, it's going to open up other sports. I mean, you already see it happening in basketball. You got a lot of international players. You're just going to see it happen more. Tennis,
Absolutely.
Baseball, football.
Yeah. And how do you feel about that, Brian?
Pretty much the same in regards to what happens next. Imagine if he can put a couple more majors under his belt, how that opens up the game of golf itself.
Yeah.
Globally, because I'll be the first to tell you, I really wasn't into golf till Tiger came in. So he kind of opened my eyes to the game.
Yes, exactly.
So imagine
Absolutely.
what his aspect will do globally for the game of golf.
Right. Now, they're saying this young man is looking at $1 billion in endorsements in Japan.
Woo!
Wow.
Now, Emerson, I know that if you had the $1 billion endorsements, you would never pick up the golf clubs again if that was you. Yeah.
You come to the golf cart with spinner
that's
wheels.
A lot of cash. That's a lot of cash. But yeah. The doors are open. The floodgates are open for him lucratively to be able to cash in on some great endorsements, and good for him and good luck to him.
And T, how about you with that? $1 billion endorsement. Looking at $1 billion in endorsement.
That's a lot of money. I mean, that's just in Japan. Well, what about here in the US? I'm sure Nike's already got a shoe, got a commercial. I'm sure they got a commercial queued up.
Oh yes.
So he's looking at a little bit more than $1 billion, which is that's a nice thing to be looking forward to.
Yes.
And Brian, how do you feel if if that was you with $1 billion? You're looking in the barrel at $1 billion endorsement deal.
It would be something.
Trouble.
It would be something.
Just say trouble.
But globally, it could be, doors could be wide open for him. Just what Hideki Matsuyama did when he was with the Yankees.
Yes. Yeah.
We talk about untapped potential, what he can do in this day.
Because I remember when Matsui came to the Yankees, and the Japanese press had followed him around like he was Elvis Presley.
Oh yeah.
And then they were talking about how people were up at 3:00 in the morning to watch the Yankees play, just to see Hideki Matsui play. So this young man at 29 years old is looking at $1 billion
Yes.
in endorsement. And God bless him. I hope he's able to keep his head on straight and to be able to still love the game of golf after this.
Yeah.
Because if you're that popular that people over in Japan want to give you $1 billion, imagine how much people are going to be pulling at him to go this way, to go that way, in so
Of
many
course.
different
Yeah.
directions. So
Mhm.
let's just hope that he can get his money and still have some fun with the game of
Yeah.
golf.
Still have that love for the game.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, MLB,
Oh,
Woo.
Major League Baseball.
oh,
Who's hot? Who's not?
Well, my Dodgers are on fire right now. What?
Oh, really? I mean,
Yeah.
what do you
Best
got to
team
say
in
about your
baseball. Stay
Dodgers?
tuned. Listen, we had a little let down the other night against San Diego, but we're ready for them. We're retooling and we're getting ready for them. And we're doing all of this right now. And one of our top players is out right now. So we'll have him back soon. And we're going to be ready to go for the first half of this season. Long way to go, 100 plus more games to go. And, but I'm glad we got out to a good start. So, but just looking across the spectrum, the globe of some of the teams that I was expecting to come out the gate a little better than they have. I have to put the Yankees there as one of my most disappointing teams right now. With the star power that they have, I thought they would be doing much better right now. But, it's a long season. It's early. I'm sure they're trying to get some of their pieces together and put that chemistry together. So my biggest disappointment right now probably would be the New York Yankees.
Yeah. I'm a Yankee fan, so I don't want to hear all of that.
I'm sure you don't.
Yeah.
Terry,
Yeah.
who's hot?
Man, the Red Sox. They reeled off like 10 in a row.
Yes.
Their bullpen has got one of the best ERAs in the game right now. And they're scoring a lot of runs too. They're scoring at least 5+ runs in this 10-game win or the 10-game winning streak they had. It was a big surprise because sorry you're a Yankee fan, but everyone thought Yankees. Everyone thought the Yankees would.
They were trying to give the Yankees the title in the offseason. Come on,
everybody loves
still
to
have
throw
to play the
darts.
game. Still have to play the game.
I mean, Red Sox fans I talked to, they had no idea this was going to happen. So, as far as disappointment, I would say, for me, the Nationals. I know they have a lot of injuries, but they're just not
Next man up.
They're not looking good right now at all.
Next man up.
I don't want to hear about the injuries. Next man up.
Oh, yeah.
And for you, Brian. And for you, Brian, who's hot, who's not?
Well, the Dodgers, I thought they would be off hot. Thought so. Padres are right there in the mid. I thought they would be a little hotter. Surprisingly disappointed. Yankees. Happy disappointment. Yankees. I don't like the Yankees. I'll tell you right now.
Yes.
It's good to see them at the bottom for a little bit.
Where's the love for the Yankees, son?
Yeah.
There's no love for the Yankees.
The long story.
Oh,
One day
boy.
we'll go into it. But
all right.
Yankees definitely. The team that I picked as an underdog, Chicago, they in the mids. I have to see what they wind up doing.
Yeah.
Still early in the season.
Still early. Long way to go.
Unfortunately, my not hot team. Oh boy, and I just look, is the New York Yankees.
Say that one more time. Say that one more time.
You won't get
Say that one
that's
more
it.
time.
Coming
One more
out
time.
is bomb.
The only way
one
you're
more
gonna
time.
get it is watch it on YouTube and rewind it, because I'm
one
not
more
saying
time.
it again. Is the New York Yankees. Oh, I'm looking at that lineup and I'm saying to myself, is it time to start breaking up some of these home run hitters on the team? Where that I look at Aaron Hicks and he gets on base with balls, but his batting average is low because he's a slugger. And I'm saying to myself, he should be one of the guys in that lineup to just slap the ball around. I think when at times when you have too many sluggers, it's not going to be a good thing, because sooner or later, too many sluggers is going to come up against a good pitcher. And we've seen at times where that the good pitching with the home run hitters, you wind up losing.
Pitching.
And so
Gotta have good pitching.
that's my heartbreak as who's not hot is the New York Yankees. Cashman, the general manager, came out and said that he's just going to wash away the first 15 games and say and think nothing of it and just move on forward. It's given the staff a vote of confidence. That could be trouble when they say, "Oh yeah, everything's going good," and before you know it, you could be gone. Hot Los Angeles Dodgers. That's
Say that again. Say that again.
Los Angeles Dodgers.
Whoop, 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 whoop.
Yeah. Kershaw's pitching good. They're hitting good. They have a well-balanced team. And all I see is the Dodgers just rolling towards the fall in the playoffs.
Yeah. And what?
So I don't see, unfortunately,
I'm worried about San Diego, though. I'm worried about San Diego's probably, one of the teams that I'm watching and keeping a very close eye on.
Yeah.
Because they give us a lot of they give us a lot of fits.
Those games, that 3-game series was like a playoff.
It was like a playoff. It had playoff magic all in it.
Yes.
Yes.
So
yeah. I think
stay tuned.
I think we will see San Diego down there. But it's Brian had mentioned about a week ago the White Sox as one of his underdog teams. And tell me why, Brian.
I like the youth that they have up there. Got a couple good players.
They got a nice young nucleus, yeah.
Yeah.
They have a nice young core of players, yes.
So it's just a team I just kind of like. I don't really have a favorite since Barry Bonds left. So I just kind of watch, observe teams that I kind of like.
And what's the team that you like, T?
Another team that I feel is hot, a little bit of a surprise. The Reds. Right now, I think they're second in the league.
Can't sleep on them.
Second in the league in home runs. I think Joey Votto, he's closing in on Johnny Bench and Frank Robinson home run numbers. I think he's closing in on 300 plus home runs. So he's been a consistent player for them. So they have a nice nucleus down there.
And how about you, Emerson?
Well, I just think right now there's so many teams that we can look at, and it's so early in baseball. We've seen teams get out of the gate so hot before. I remember seeing my team get out the gate hot, and when playoffs baseball matters the most, right there in October, when you need to be playing your best baseball. So I think we have a long way to go to see what team is going to come out, and then injuries could play a part of this. as we all know, and those can be significant injuries that can actually put a team, from missing the playoffs. So we got to be mindful of how long this season is. It's a long season. It's a long season.
As I say, we got a long road to go.
Oh yeah.
In
Oh yeah.
Major League Baseball.
Oh yeah.
But switching over to the NBA.
All right.
Zion Williams comments.
Oh.
Talking about how he loved playing in the Mecca, New York.
Who doesn't? Huh? It's New York.
To the Big Apple.
Come on, it's New York.
He said he loves the taste of the Big Apple, but he basically said that he liked playing in New York when he was at Duke, and it was his first time playing in New York as being a pro. And he said, it's second to New Orleans, but I don't think the New York fans were like, you want to come here.
Oh, yeah.
Now, Em, do you think Zion, he signed a 3-year contract, do you think Zion wants to come to New York?
I can see Zion in New York City. Big signs, big posters right there in Times Square. He would own the city. He would own the city. Zion, if you're listening to me, he would own the city. I love New Orleans. I know that fried chicken is good down there, but you come to New York, the sky is the limit. I could see Zion playing in New York City. We don't know what's going to happen in the next few years to come, but I can see him in Madison Square Garden. Once that garden opens back up to full capacity and 20,000+ fans are in there wearing Zion t-shirts. Oh my goodness. Zion in the Big Apple. You heard it here first on XO Sports Talk.
And Brian, what do you think of Zion's comments? Do you think he was hinting that he wants to come to New York?
I think, no doubt, just the look that he gave on his face was like he didn't want to say anything that would get him in trouble. It was like he was conscious of what he was saying, but his facial expression was saying everything. So that, him and R.J. Barrett, close friends.
Oh my God!
And it's New York.
Say no more.
That's it.
There's no place like it.
Yeah. So, like he said, he would own the city, basically. Oh, and win a chip. Oh, you know what that would do. But we won't talk there. But it would be nice.
And what do you think about that, Terry? Zion.
Well, I'll say this. When I first saw it, I was kind of like, blah, blah, blah. I don't believe it. But, we talked the other night. I saw, he's coming up on his 3rd year. And then I did a little research, and I'm just going to say a couple things that can go in our favor. The whole trade with JJ Redick, and JJ Redick kind of voiced his opinion being traded from the Pelicans. That could kind of be a red flag for Zion and his camp, because they promised JJ Redick. They didn't necessarily say they were going to trade him where they were, but they kind of had a verbal agreement that it would be somewhere on the East Coast so he could be close to his family. Another thing, you got David Griffin, who's the GM down there now, and we all know his history with LeBron and
absolutely
in the Cavs.
Yes.
And Redick, Julius Randle, and Zion, they're both with the same agency firm.
Okay.
Knicks got the cap space. They could sign him and not take a big hit to the cap.
How about having 3 lefties in New York at the same time? What would that be like, huh?
That's
Huh?
Let me bring up a
Three
interesting
lefties.
Lucky
Three
lefty.
southpaw.
because you figure if New Orleans was going to get rid of him, they would have to figure you would give him something or get something instead of just losing him. Would you trade Knicks, Randall to get Zion?
Zion Williamson is much watch TV. You do whatever you have to do to get Zion in the building. And that's my take.
Yeah.
If you have to get in your car and drive down to New Orleans and help him pack up everything from his house to drive him back to New York, that's what you do.
For me, if I'm the Knicks, he basically threw a signal bat light in the air saying, "Hey, I'm ready." But if I'm the
Absolutely.
Knicks, I'm gonna stay. I'm not making no trades for him because I want this kid. I want this kid when he's a free agent to have all the pieces in place so he can succeed.
Okay.
Time and time again, teams have said, okay, we're going to make the move for the player, but we're giving up X amount, and now they got nothing.
Perfect example, Carmelo Anthony.
Correctamundo.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
So we knew Carmelo wanted to come to New York. They gave up all the players, and then Carmelo had nothing. But with this kid here, the Knicks are on the right track with the coach, with the players. You get this kid to take a look when he's a free agent. Hey, you come to New York. New York is starving.
Okay.
The money you can make off of endorsements will push Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving to the side. Even though they're stars in New York and Brooklyn, but we both know there's nothing like success with the Knicks.
Yeah, they definitely would be front page.
Oh, it would be definitely be front page. We have to wait and see how things pan out. There's all salary cap issues. Will the Knicks sign Randall this upcoming offseason? Who else will be willing to come there with the expectation that Zion is on his way? So I think that all needs to play a factor as we play the waiting game to see what happens in the next few years.
I as Father Time is moving fast. So this kid is already in his
Time waits on nobody.
This kid is already okay. This kid is already into his second season, and we're looking at his third season. And when is I mean, Carmelo Anthony was the last star to walk through New York for the Knicks.
Zion will be.
But if Zion comes into New York, I mean, he could be looking at over $200 million in endorsements.
Oh man.
Easy. I know you have Durant and Kyrie
over in Brooklyn,
but you get Zion right now and with the Knicks, with his personality and that big smile with that kid.
Oh man.
Box office.
Yeah.
Box office.
But
Zion, I would tell Zion this. Make sure you bring your chef from Louisiana with you. Because there's nothing like that Louisiana fried chicken.
I thought Louisiana was good for their seafood.
They're good for their seafood. They're good for their chicken.
Asian food.
You just go down there and it's just
don't even know what it is. Give me some of that.
It's just good. Oh man. They have a personal chef. Don't worry about it. They'll fly his chef back and forth if he wants to. It doesn't matter. But no. Zion in New York, major speculations with that interview. We have to wait and see.
Time will tell.
Time will tell.
Definitely.
Now, NBA players who are hurt,
Oh wow.
teams that playoff teams, the Lakers, LeBron and Davis, Nuggets, Murray, Nets, Durant, and Utah's Donovan Mitchell. What do you guys have to say about the Lakers with LeBron and Davis? Terry?
Well, I think it hurt them, but in a way, I think it helped them. A lot of their role players are stepping into starting positions now, and they're playing good basketball. And you picked up Andre Drummond, and he's looking really, really good. I believe Davis is scheduled to come back
Thursday.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this week.
Yeah.
And LeBron tweeted out, I think he's close to getting back. They could be primed right now to make a good deep playoff run, if not win it. They're coming back and everyone else is getting hurt. Like you said, Murray's hurt, Donovan Mitchell's out. How's that going to affect their playoff position?
And Brian, how do you feel about LeBron and Davis? Do you think their injuries will heal or bust?
Well, AD is the X factor. If he can give you 80% with the roster that they have, I think they definitely dominant force right there. Bron, I'm not so much worried about. I think the rest is just going to help him out. He'll be more fresher. So, I think they'll be all right.
And Mr. Hollywood Laker, the faker, Emerson.
Go LA. Laker Nation, y'all. Listen, this Terry spoke of something earlier. This is almost a blessing in disguise that they're being able to get some rest. If you want to call it load management extra. Both of these injuries actually I think were a little blessing in disguise for both Anthony Davis and for LeBron, because as we know, they went deep into the playoffs last year, winning the championship. All of the wear and tear that was on their body from a grueling NBA season, and didn't have the proper amount of time to actually recover, have the proper offseason that they needed to do their normal usuals that they do to get ready for a long, grueling NBA season. So these injuries, although they were significant, I think they were a blessing in disguise. And Brian, as you spoke of, you said something about if Anthony Davis is at 80, 85%, he's still one of the most dominant players at his position. Getting Andre Drummond in the mix on that block. Let's not forget everyone else that they have on that roster. We know what LeBron is going to bring once he comes back. Just him stepping on the floor, even if he's at 90%, is going to impact that team. There's so many players that are playing well right now for the Lakers. They've made some quiet moves that didn't make a lot of noise, but have been effective. And this young kid named Taylor Horton Tucker, he is balling out right now. Shooter is balling out. Kuzma is balling. Keith, he's balling out. KCP, I mean, collectively, they're coming together. I know they got blown out the other night, but I'm telling you, when the pieces come back together, and I think Frank Vogel, the coach, he's going to have a hard time trying to find minutes for players. Let's not forget Marc Gasol was the starting center on that team before Andre Drummond showed up, and he's still a major factor that can come in, spread the floor at the 5 position, shooting threes. Then you got Drummond down there on the block. He's a rebounding machine. Now you're going to have AD there doing what AD does. and then LeBron doing what, and then Dennis Schroeder. It's just going to be a tough time. I know the West is tough right now. The Clippers are looking good. They're still playing some good ball. Let's not forget about Portland out there. Dame Dollar, he's going to come and bring it every single night. And we don't know what Utah is going to look like after Donovan Mitchell comes back. So we'll see.
Now, what I see is LeBron. I think LeBron is going to be there. I think LeBron will be healthy. I mean, he's a freak of nature to be playing at that level of what he's playing at. Davis, I think at any time that Achilles can go. And that's what I'm afraid of for him.
Absolutely. Yes.
That's I think if he had, a little bit of a knee issue, something like that, I would say, you know what? He can work through that. But something about that Achilles, he may be able to play through it, or he may start in the first round, and then they may have to shut him down again.
This is true.
Yeah.
This is true.
And if they shut him down, I don't see them going anywhere.
Well, I think that's where Drummond might be able to come in and kind of relieve some of that workload off of him. So maybe he's not working as hard.
Absolutely, Terry.
So but you're right. That's something that they're gonna have to watch and monitor,
And believe me, they will be watching and monitoring his Achilles.
And
not enough. How many games are left? 15, 20?
Yeah.
Maybe less, yeah.
And
you want to get them in, but
yeah,
don't want to overdo them. So
right,
it's going to be kind of tricky to see how they integrate into the system. Yeah. And everybody's playing well, as you said, too.
Right.
So
and
how's that going to throw off Kuzma and all their games, everybody?
Precisely. Because once you get LeBron in, now you pass the ball to LeBron, and now LeBron sets up the offense. And LeBron's pace with the when he's got the basketball, everything slows down. And everybody's waiting to see what LeBron is going to do instead of what the Lakers are doing now. They're playing within a rhythm, within more of a team concept than a one-on-one, waiting to see what LeBron is going to do.
Well, that's where Frank Vogel comes in, and he orchestrates the team and the assistant coaches that are on that team to make sure that's a well-oiled machine going forward. We're figuring out what players are being able to, like Terry alluded to earlier about different players stepping up, being able to make shots. The Kuzmas of the world, the KCPs, Dennis Schroeders. I mean, those guys are coming in. Don't forget about Caruso. Yes, absolutely. He brings different. Everybody has a role to play, and I think everyone knows their role that they play once LeBron comes back on the floor. Everybody knows their role now as they're playing collectively. Right. So we just have to wait and see how that's going to go. And I think Frank Vogel is doing a great job. I mean, in his first season, winning the NBA championship. I think their defense comes into play. He's a defensive-minded coach. I think the defense comes into play, and they're going to be able to, showcase that because, there's some other teams out there that really look good right now. I mean, that'll really look good.
Yeah.
So
Spoken like a true Laker fan.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
But I think I'm gonna throw this one to Brian. The Nuggets lost Murray to an injury. Yep. And that kid in the playoffs was on fire. Woo. Last year, he just elevated his game and he took Denver to another level. But now he's gone. Do you see the Nuggets falling or still being able to keep that train moving?
They're not going to be easy out. But they're definitely, I don't see them winning a championship without him. Even with Joker playing all-star level.
Yeah, MVP level.
You can't
Yeah.
And how do you? Someone's gonna have to pick up that level of play. This may be a chance for Porter Jr. to step up,
Yeah.
but I don't think he's gonna be able to do it at that level. But we'll see. But it's a definitely opportunity for him to do that.
Yeah.
Right. And how do you feel about that, Terry? About Murray?
It's a big hit. I mean, he was averaging 21 points a game.
Hmm.
He was shooting like 40 something percent from the 3-point line. I think he was shooting close to 46 or 47% from the field. And how do you can't, what do you do on a Murray and Jokic pick and roll?
Yep.
It's just hard to contain. And that's a major part of their offense. Like Brian said, though, I do think they're not going to be an easy out, just based off of Jokic's ability to pass, dribble the ball, and shoot. He's going to make it difficult for anybody they face in the playoffs, but Murray's going to be missed. It is a good opportunity for someone to step in, maybe like Brian said, a Michael Porter Jr., but I don't know if he can put up 20-something points consistently in the playoffs.
Right. Now, I'm going to start
Yes.
this one off with you with the Nets. Kevin
Mhm.
Durant. Hurt?
Well, I think Durant is saving his best for the playoffs. They're a sure lock for the playoffs, as we know. I think he's saving his best. We've seen some of his injury history, and I don't think he wants to face that, nor do the Nets want to see him deal with any injuries coming for the games that they know that he can take a night off to be able to rest his body, to rest his hamstring and any other injuries that may be nagging him right now. Because a lot of these are nagging injuries right now this time of year. I think they want Durant fresh for the playoffs. He's an incredible scorer, a scoring machine, maybe one of the best scorers that we've seen in this decade. I mean, and I'm counting some of the greats that have played. Just his length, his ability to shoot, handle the ball, set up the offense. I mean, how do you defend him? He's a nightmare trying to defend him.
Right.
So they want Durant healthy with Kyrie playing like he's playing, and then we know what James Harden can do on any night. Any one of those guys could drop 40 on a drop of a dime a night. Is basically saying, okay, do you want 40 tonight, or I'm gonna let you have 40 the next night? They can just distribute that basketball any way they want. I think it's going to be up to Coach Nash to be able to bring those other players into play and play their roles so that they can play collectively for the chance of winning a championship.
Mhm.
And I will say this: if they don't get to the finals this year, after making the trade for James Harden, it is a bust of a year for the Brooklyn Nets.
Okay, we'll come back to that. Terry, Terry, tell me,
Yeah.
how do you feel about Durant being hurt?
I don't think it's a big deal. I don't think it's a big deal because we've seen it throughout the whole season. I think Harden's coming back. There were rumors he was going to come back tonight, but it's looking like possibly next week. I think he comes back and they go on a little winning streak.
Oh yeah.
But the bright side to that is, let's just say they lose a few games, Milwaukee steps up in their spot, I think at the number 2, and they would right now, if the playoffs ended right now, Brooklyn would face Miami. But if they lose a few games, you never know. Milwaukee could slide up into that 2 spot. Now they're facing Miami, and now you got.
You don't want to play Miami in the first round. Nobody wants to play Miami in the first round.
Right.
Yeah, you don't.
Right.
You don't want to play Miami in the first round.
Right. And then you got the Nets could potentially fall to 3 and face the Knicks. 3 versus 6.
Oh,
Ooh.
baby. You love New
Oh,
York.
Yeah.
And Brian, how do
I
you feel?
love New York.
And Brian, how do you feel about
Uh,
Durant being hurt?
I think he'd be okay. Knickknacks. I think more importantly is well, I can't even say their chemistry because they when they do get on the court all together, still fluid. But it's the fact they played just so little games all together in a playoffs tightened game. How would that cohesion work when the game get tight and it's difficult? Like saying if you have
Good
to play
point.
against Miami, will you
Good
get
Okay.
that bickering because you haven't really had that chemistry all year?
Mm-hmm.
And my feelings on Kevin Durant coming off of Achilles, you don't know what you're going to get. And for the fact of he didn't play last year and he's playing minutes this year. So can his body hold up? We don't know. He may need another season that his body is back to NBA 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 strength because you sit out for a year, you're sitting out for a year
Mm-hmm.
and you're going through therapy, but you're now getting back into NBA shape, NBA condition, playing a
Mhm.
full season,
Yep.
trusting your Achilles that it doesn't go. So all of this to me takes effect. Um, the other quick person that we're going to talk about real quick is Donovan Mitchell for Utah. How does that affect Utah? Emerson?
Major injury. He's the machine that makes the engine go. He is that engine. And for him being out, and I don't know how long he's going to be out. Will they rest him until the playoffs? Here they were running away with things in the West. Um, but you want him healthy. You need him healthy. Without a healthy Donovan Mitchell going forth in the playoffs, Utah will not have a chance. I know they have other players on that team that have been playing well. Rudy Gobert, he's a major all-star player. But you need Donovan Mitchell. He sets up everything, and I know they don't want to go into the playoffs with a 75% or 65% Donovan Mitchell. I know his willingness and will try to get out there and sacrifice, but if he's not that same Donovan Mitchell with that burst that he has to get to the lane from the elbow and all the things that he can do to contribute to a win for that team, I don't see them making it out of the playoffs if Donovan Mitchell is not healthy.
Right. And how about you, T? How do you feel about Donovan Mitchell?
It's a big hit to Utah. Um, he's a major contributor to their offense. I know they have
Everything.
guys stepping up, but my biggest thing is they fall and they were out off to the races, and now they're more than likely gonna fall, and they might end up facing like a pesky team like Dallas or Portland, where their attitude is like, we're here, we got nothing to lose, and that could be their worst nightmare. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
And how do you feel about Donovan Mitchell, Brian?
I think the team it's just a matter he's gonna be back, I think, in a couple of weeks, but it's how far will they fall?
Right.
They're gonna fall a little bit. Just how far will they fall? His game is elevated to where he's become that dude. And I remember watching TNT and Shaq had said a comment about him just to kind of poke him. And ever since that comment, which Shaq kind of alluded to, he poked him to push him to be what he was. And he started, you see his game, he started to be that
elevated.
dude. Yeah.
Definitely.
So it's just a matter how far will they fall. I still think they will be 1-2 out of I, that's my opinion. I think they'll be okay, no matter how
Yeah.
far they fall.
And then another thing, just one other point with these players that are hurt. At what point, as a team, do you say, "Hey, we know you were injured. We got the playoffs coming up." Do you start pulling them back and just sitting them just to get ready for the playoffs? And then you lose a game or two here. That's a playoff spot.
Yeah.
You know.
Mm.
Yep.
No, I think you want that home money.
Mhm.
If you're the owner, you're going to talk to that coach and you're going to tell him, I want that home money.
Play, damn it.
Oh man, it's
But
all
now-
about the money, huh? It's all
Now
about the money.
Now going
It's
into
all
the
about the money.
NFL,
Oh
who should go in
man.
the first round but may fall in the draft? Let's start off with Emerson.
Listen, I there's so many fantastic players in this draft. It's a really a rich draft. Um, I can see one of the I want to say the kid from there's a linebacker that I like out of Penn State. And he could possibly fall. He was supposed to be like a top 10 pick. Oh God, his name just blew a blank for me right now. Micaiah. Yes. Um, I thought he would go in the top 15 right now. The way the draft is set up, I can see him going in the late rounds. He still will be a first round pick, but I can see him going into like that 20 slot, that 18, 19 slot, somewhere around there, just because of the needs of so many other teams. And we got a quarterback rich draft this year, and there's some other offensive players that their skill set is just incredible. But Makai, he is a hell of a player out of Penn State. One of the best linebackers in the game, but I can see him dropping down into that 20 spot somewhere. But he still would be a first round pick.
And how about you, Brian?
Person that I'm keeping my eye out on is Kelvin Joseph, Kentucky. Corner. To me, he has
I
wide
like that
receiver
kid.
hands. Yeah.
I like that kid.
Transfer from LSU, redshirted, went to Kentucky. I think he would have definitely been a sure shot number one. Had some off the field issues, but his potential off the charts. Catches, he defends, he's physical. Ran a 4.3 in the pro day. Yeah, him. Here is linebacker from Washington, Joe Tryon. I think he's fundamentally sound. He may be
Good player.
round. Yeah.
Good player.
So those are a couple of players I'm keeping my eye on.
How about you, T?
I'm keeping my eye on this guy out of Miami, Gregory Rousseau. He's an edge rusher. He was supposed to be a physical specimen. They had him going
He's
first
a
round.
beast.
Yeah, but so he opted to sit out 2020 season so he could focus, on getting ready for the NFL. And his pro day, he he ran a 4.7 and a 40-yard dash.
Wow.
Which is not good. And they said his broad jump numbers didn't look good either. So that's someone that I'm keeping my eye on. He may fall down to the second round, but we'll see.
Yeah. Time tells all.
Yeah.
My guy that I'm looking at is Najee Harris.
Oh,
out of Alabama.
Big back.
Mm-hmm.
Big back.
Yep.
You're looking at the quarterbacks. There's a lot of quarterbacks in this draft, a lot of offensive linemen in this draft,
Yes.
and corners that are in this draft that are looking to go number in the first round.
Mm-hmm.
Najee has a chance to be a running back to go to, I hate to say it, the Steelers.
Yeah. No,
And the
that'd be a great
Steelers,
pickup.
though they're saying the Steelers need an offensive lineman, I would say yes. But here's the problem. Big Ben is coming back. Connors, their starting running back, is off to Arizona. So Big Ben needs a running back in that backfield. He cannot go and throw the football again 50 times a game. That's not good, especially having a surgical elbow. But this kid here, if Pittsburgh doesn't take him in the first round, he's falling to the second round.
Mm-hmm.
So I hope if he doesn't go to Pittsburgh, I hope somebody takes him in the first round, but still, I hope he goes to Pittsburgh.
Yeah, he's a hell of a ball player. Just watching him at Alabama, this past year, listen, he's a load
He's
to
a
bring
workhorse.
down.
He's a workhorse.
He's definitely a workhorse back. He will run you over. You better bring a pack a punch when he comes, because he's coming. He's coming to deliver the blow. Yeah, Aaron, I can see him falling into the second round with the first round potential that's on his shoulders.
Mhm.
He definitely has first round potential, but with all of the other talent that's there on the board, sitting on the board, teams are going to be drafting for need. Like you alluded to, you said something about quarterbacks, offensive linemen. This is a very good offensive line rich draft. Also, don't forget about some of those skill players that we talked about, the wide receivers, the corners, but he can be a running back that's guaranteed 1,000 yards, move the chains every Sunday in the NFL. So watch out for Najee.
I mean,
Watch out for Najee.
they're saying some of the strengths about this kid is rarely fumbles the football.
Yeah,
That's
That's-
huge.
That's big. That's
That's
big.
a
Huge.
major one. Runs
It's huge.
decisively with urgency.
Mm-hmm.
Change of direction is crisp.
Yep.
Yes.
So
Yeah, he's it.
I'm only hoping that the Steelers will draft this kid. But if the Steelers don't draft this kid, he will fall in the draft. And
there's
that
something that T said about a lot of players that sat out due to COVID.
Yes.
That's why you see a lot of good players that you will see in the second, third rounds. Because teams
Oh my God.
just passing on them because they didn't play.
Right.
That out of season. So
Yeah, you're gonna find some gems in that second
Mhm.
and third round, Brian. I'm telling you, second, third. I'm gonna even go second, third, and fourth round. They're gonna be some players that will be able to be major contributors to your team. Second, third, fourth round, because like you said, COVID had a lot to do with teams not being able to get a good feel on players, whether it's film or whatever, But you're going to see some major men. You're going to see guys on Sunday and be like, wow, yeah, he was a fourth round pick, or he was a third round pick. Oh, yeah, he's doing it. I mean, I have some sleepers. There's another running back out of Indiana named Stevie Scott. He's a power back that people don't know about, that I think is going to make some noise. Maybe like a third round pick or something. Watch out for him. There's a few other quarterbacks. I know we know all the big names that are out there in the first round, but
we're gonna save some of that for the NFL draft talk.
Yes,
coming
absolutely.
up.
Absolutely.
There's a
Absolutely.
lot of players, though.
We can run all night. But
Yes.
we want to thank everybody for tuning in.
Thank you,
Please
guys.
click on the subscribe button for us. And we plan to come back again this week with another episode of XO Sports Talk. And take us out.
Come back and see us again next week. We're coming back. We got some more good hot news with sports talk right here at XO Sports Talk Live. You want to hit that subscribe button and come and see us. I'm telling you, it's getting better and better every week. The NFL draft is coming. It's right here around the corner, and we got some hot topics we're going to be discussing. Stay tuned. We hope to see you soon.
Thank you, everyone.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.